Hey guys, this is Andy from Gizchina, and this afternoon we're going to take a look at the Umi X2. Now the model that we've been sent is a pre-production model. It has 1 GB of RAM, 16 GB of ROM. It's also the older processor, so that's a 1.2 GHz quad-core MediaTek MT6589 processor. The newer phones will get the faster 1.5 MT6589T processor. Okay, this is the box that it came in. The box and the phone don't match. As we've seen before, it says it has 2 GB RAM and 32 GB ROM. That's not the case for this phone. But anyway, let's forget about that. Let's take a look at the phone itself. On the front we have a 5-inch display. It's a full HD display, 1920 by 1080. We've got navigation buttons along the bottom. Once it's powered up, you'll see that they light up. The JiaYu G4 doesn't, but the Umi X2 does. We have our front-facing camera here. Around the edges, we've got a micro USB. We have power and volume rocker here. 3.5mm headphone jack. Nothing on this side. This band, it's not aluminium or steel, it's just plastic. The back, Umi X2 logo. We've got different markings here, including a CE mark. A large external speaker, 13 megapixel autofocus, full HD camera, and a LED flash. If we just pop the back off, you can see we have a space for an SD, micro SD here, and 2 SIM slots. These are regular size SIM slots, so you can put 2 regular size SIMs in here. The JiaYu G4 you can only put 1 micro SIM and 1 regular SIM. Alright, let's pop the back on and let's power it up. Turn it on. Alright, while it's turning on, we'll just have a quick look. Size comparison. Oh, it's already on anyway, but let's have a look. This is the JiaYu G4 with a 4.7-inch display, and this is the Umi X2 with its 5-inch display. Okay, let's just go back here. Both phones are now on their brightest settings. The JiaYu G4 is brighter than the Umi X2. Okay, for those of you asking. Alright. Now, another thing a lot of you have been asking is, how is the 1 GB of RAM with a full 1080 display? Well, most of the stuff that I've been doing on this, including the odd bit of gaming, the Umi's been fine, despite it has a slower processor and only 1 GB of RAM, and it has that full HD display. The only time I've really seen any noticeable difference is if I just open up here. You see we've got Velamo here running. If I swipe with the JiaYu G4, it's handling it, no problem. Swiping around, good. But the Umi is struggling, really finding it hard. Yeah, this is the only time I've really seen the Umi struggle when running this. The JiaYu, no problem. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's have a look at the Umi by itself then. So here it is, Umi X2. Full HD display, and it is a lovely display. It has really nice colors, fantastic viewing angles. It's not as bright as let's pop back on. It's not as bright as the JiaYu, but it is a really nice screen. Let's see what we've got. Let's go into Antutu. It's already been ran. Antutu 11946. It's exactly what we thought it would be. It's lower than the JiaYu again because of that screen. Let's have a look at the info, system info. Like I said, it's an MT6589 processor, full HD display. Other details here, 1 GB of RAM, Android 4.2.1. If we just pop out of here and we head into the settings, we pop down to, where do I want to go? Here. Okay, languages. Again, this is a pre-production model. It has all the usual languages that you would expect to find on an Android phone. But I've been speaking to a few resellers, and they are telling me that different resellers might have phones with different languages. So when you come to order a phone, online, you need to speak to them and make sure that your language is on there, because from what I'm hearing, it might not be. The languages that were mentioned were Russian, or I think it was Spanish too. Only certain companies are going to have phones with those languages on, but you'll have to just double check with that about that. Okay, you can see that we've got the navigation buttons lighting up, which is a feature that a lot of you would miss on the JiaYu G4. Let's have a look at the camera. 13 megapixel camera. It takes some really good photos. They do come out a bit reddish now and again, but overall it's pretty good. Let's zoom in on something. Let's pop something in front of it. I'll stick my phone in front of it. Let's have a look at this. Take a photo. Has burst mode too. Saves really quickly. Oops, sorry. Yeah, saved already. It's very snappy. Considering it only has 1 gig of RAM, it does a good job. Let's see what else we have in here. Let's take a look at a game. Riptide GP. The volume is on its loudest. Let's move my hand. Okay, you can see, although this is not the most graphically intensive game, it is pretty intensive, but that full 1080 HD display with a gig of RAM and the 1.2 gigahertz processor seems to be handling it pretty well. Oops. Oh, alright. That's me. Alright, good. So that's that. Let's have a look at the browser. See what we've got on here. Open up Yoku, and we can see if we can have a look at a video quickly. What do we have? Anything interesting? Anything exciting? We can watch. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at a phone. Ah no, let's have a look at Top Gear.
We get very cold and wet. I'd reenact the Battle of Britain. Oh, nuts. And there's a blur in our reasonably priced car.
Alright, awesome. So that's it. That's our hands-on. This is not the full review, so I mean there are a lot of things here that we haven't covered. We haven't covered the ring volume, we haven't covered the bands that the phone uses. So please, when it comes to on the GPS as well, we haven't covered that. So just keep your eyes open for the full review, which we hope we'll be posting next week sometime. and I hope you all have a great weekend. Okay, cheers, bye bye.